A ghost town. It sits right next to Big Bend National Park. But is it even a ghost town when thousands of visitors are coming in from out of town? Most are from Central Texas.
The growth of this area, of the national park visitors, it all has to do with Central Texas growing.
In today's age, many are taking part in what's called glamping. Imagine camping, but with a hint of glam.
It's for folks that really want to get in touch with nature, but maybe they don't want to take the time to pack an entire tent and all their camping stuff.
Base Camp Terlingua knows exactly how to glamp. You can camp out in one of their casitas or teepees, but now they've rolled out with something a little out of this world.
Now imagine laying down in your warm bed at night and looking up at the infamous dark skies of West Texas and also those big bright stars that you see at night. Well, Base Camp Terlingua can give you that experience from inside a bubble.
The bubbles are the newest thing we have right now, and they are just exploding.
These bubbles have been in the works for 5 years, and now that they've popped up, they're getting booked left and right.
And this whole bubble thing is like the indoor-outdoor. We want you to be in touch with nature by being outdoors. Every one of our rentals has a fire pit. You can sit outside. We don't want you to stay inside all the time.
And no, they won't burst your bubble here. With its own AC unit, even a heater for the cold winter nights, each bubble accommodates guests for whatever the West Texas weather brings them. And yes, each has its own restroom with running water. But the dark skies are one of the reasons that many visitors are making trips to this neck of the woods.
That's half of our questions. One of the best time of year to see the stars. And, it's hard to say with that. Sometimes we get storms to roll through. You can't really predict the weather exactly, but this is really an accommodation for that.
Terlingua is one of the many communities that falls under the dark sky ordinance. That's where 7 counties do their part to cut down on light pollution.
All of our lighting and all our properties is dark sky compliant. And basically, a big part of that is everything needs to face down. We don't want any upward lights. Those are the kind of things that slowly, like that glow, is what will ruin the dark skies. And just as a community as a whole, it's a very important thing to everyone here. They know that our lives depend on it, our livelihoods depend on it, that people can come out here and see the Milky Way, like at 8 o'clock at night.
It's really beautiful.
Elizabeth Nitz is an experienced camper who wanted to escape for a weekend getaway. So she left the city of Austin and headed west to camp out in a base camp bubble.
This just seemed like such a different experience that, as far as I know, we weren't going to be able to have anywhere else. And so to be able to lie in bed and look up at the stars just seemed really incredible. It's very different. So my previous experience involves a tent, which you might think is similar to this, but it's actually incredibly different. So inside, it's very cozy. The amenities are not very much different from being in a hotel, and that's really incredible.
It's not the first time Elizabeth has been to West Texas, but it is the first time that she's learned about their mission to keep the dark skies of West Texas dark.
It's something that I think a lot of people probably take for granted and don't realize the effort that goes into maintaining this beautiful dark sky. It's one of the most amazing things that I've ever seen in my life. It was just so incredibly beautiful. And I appreciate the effort that everybody puts into maintaining that.
Because everyone's effort gives West Texans or visitors from all over the ultimate glamping experience. And what better way to do it than under the big and bright Texas stars?
And if you come to base camp, I would say get a bubble house.
In Terlingua, Jolena Okazaki, News West 9.